Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor.
Something like that, spreads. And then they have to dock and try to do whatever they do, quarantine or whatever, you know. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. That wouldn't have happened to these people if they just, not gonna be, for instance.
You sound quite risk averse.
That's the thing. I mean, it sounds unadventurous. It sounds unadventurous, and I accept that. And then when I hear about helicopter crashing, I think, maybe if they just went on a coach, for instance, or just drove. They could have.
That's true. Yeah,
they could have avoided that, rather than trying to get there on time.
So you're fairly uptight about leaving your home, by the sound of it.
I don't really like getting into situations that I know it could have been avoided, and that sounds really, really very unadventurous. But I just think, if that didn't happen, then you wouldn't experience life really. So I suppose it's a bit restrictive, isn't it? In a sense,
it is.
Yeah. It's a bit restrictive in a sense. So I can say that I live a restrictive lifestyle, kind of. Say, for instance, I've had friends say, we're going camping in Scotland, for instance. So it's gonna be cold, so we're shopping for this and that, and I'm thinking, right. And they say, well, wouldn't you want to come? I'm like, no. Don't you want to, I'm like, no. They go, why? And I say, well, the only time you should sleep outdoors is if your house was on fire, for instance. And
Are you deliberately sort of doing a comedy show? It's good. I like it. Give up the day job and be a stand-up comic. If your house is on fire, I don't think you're going to go and sleep in the garden, are you?
Well, this is the thing. That's the only time for me that camping would be justified. You think, right? You know what? The house burnt down anyway, so.
I take it you've never have you ever camped in a tent?
No, never. Not even in back garden. No, I just stay indoors. You
go out driving much? Because if you on a more serious point, you can read a lot about nasty vehicle accidents, and that on your idea that if you see something that reminds you there's a risk to something, a risk attached to it, you might not do it. But you don't see the same with driving.
Very true, and I don't know why. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I suppose it's like if you don't drive, then you'd never get anywhere. So you'd have a proper phobia. You'd have a proper phobia on your hands then. I don't know what kind of phobia. Agoraphobia, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
So you then need treatment for. And I guess I'm glad I'm not that way. But every other thing, I look at it, I weigh up, and I think, nah, I don't want to.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deep Stuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com. Or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deep Stuff Radio Facebook page